Kiss didn't disappear when the farewell tour ended. They transformed. And that tells you everything about why Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley still matter right now. Most bands fade when the tours stop. The stage goes dark, the nostalgia sets in, and the legacy slowly freezes in time. Kiss took a different route. They shut down the physical grind and doubled down on the myth. This was never just a rock band, it was a system. From the beginning, Gene and Paul understood something most artists never fully grasp. Music alone doesn't build longevity, identity does. That's why Kiss didn't just write songs, they created characters, makeup, symbols, a logo you could recognize from across a stadium, a look so strong that even people who don't like the band still know exactly who they are. And once that identity was locked in, everything else followed. Kiss didn't chase trends, they survived them. Disco came and went, punk rejected excess, grunge tore down theatrics, pop cycles recycled themselves. Through every shift, Kiss stayed upright because their core wasn't tied to a sound alone, it was tied to experience. You don't casually attend a Kiss show, you witness one. Fire, blood, platforms rising from the stage, poses frozen like comic book panels, songs designed not for headphones, but for crowds. Chantable hooks, simple, massive choruses, music that turns thousands of strangers into a single voice. That's not accidental, that's engineering. And here's the part people misunderstand. That same thinking is what's keeping them relevant after the tours ended. When Kiss closed the touring chapter, they didn't frame it as an ending, they framed it as a transition. Less wear on the bodies, more control over the story. More focus on events, experiences, and brand continuity. The band stopped being a non-stop road act and became a legacy platform. That's why Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley still sit at the center of everything, because they aren't just performers, they're curators of the Kiss universe. The fan base proves it. Kiss didn't just have fans, they built the Kiss army. A name, an identity, a sense of belonging. That changes everything. Fans without identity drift. Fans with identity defend, preserve, and pass the torch. That's why Kiss merch still moves, why anniversary releases still sell, why new generations still discover the band, even if they weren't alive for the early years. And now, the controversial part. Avatars, digital performances, a future where the show can continue without the physical limits of age. Some hear that and say, that's not rock and roll. But the truth is, Kiss has always been theatrical, larger than life, built closer to myth than diary entries. This isn't a betrayal of their identity, it's the most Kiss thing they could possibly do. Preserve the characters, protect the image, extend the story beyond the human timeline. Love it or hate it, it's consistent. And consistency is why their legacy is locked in. They've been inducted, documented, debated, defended, criticized, celebrated, and yet still talked about, still referenced, still instantly recognizable in an era where attention spans collapse in seconds. That's the real secret sauce. Not perfection, not universal approval, but permanence. So when people ask what makes Kiss iconic today, the answer isn't nostalgia. It's structure, vision, control of identity, and the refusal to let the story end quietly. Now I want to hear from you. What moment made Kiss real for you? The first time you saw the makeup, the first arena chorus, or the moment you realized this wasn't just a band, it was a universe. If you value legacy over image, if you believe real bands are built on chemistry, not control, make sure you subscribe to Next Wave Vision 92. Join the silent majority that still cares about what rock music stood for, not just how long it lasted. And if you want another deep breakdown of rock legends who reshaped the rules, watch the video on your screen right now. You won't want to miss it.